Hey guys, welcome back to OverTakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Cal.
And we're doing an episode today. We're just talking about the schedule that dropped on Wednesday. And, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that Nate Nanzer said last week and his little interview with Malik on their season preview. We got a whole bunch of stuff today to cover anyway. But if you're new, thanks a lot for joining us. We cover Overwatch League pretty much 2 to 3 times a week in the off season if there's stuff going on. During the season, we're going to cover a whole lot more, and we got some other stuff in the works, guys. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have some stuff that some of you guys have been asking for. We're going to deliver possibly. So we just got to arrange it and, set the schedule and all that stuff. But don't forget to hit a like and subscribe, and all you guys that are joining us, coming back, thanks a lot. So let's dive into it. All right. Wednesday, we got the schedule for the full season. And if you guys joined us, or have been hanging around and joining us, early in the off-season, we had one of our episodes where we were pretty much plotting out. David Benchmob had dropped, what he thought the schedule was going to be, and it kind of fell into place where we were we went through where stage 1 is going to end and all that, and it's pretty much what we said. It's going to go from February 14th till about the end of August. I think it was August 25th.
Yes.
Somewhere in there. We're gonna have
the last day of the regular season is August 20th.
Yeah, and we got longer breaks, which is good. Less games, which I think is going to be good for these guys. We're going to get better competition. I hope you guys are ready for a long season. And I think, obviously the off season is not going to be as long next year because the playoffs are going to go into probably mid-October, I would think.
Yeah. I would think, if you're ending in September, if you give them 2-3 weeks off, I would say probably 3 to 4 weeks would be probably about what we expect between the playoffs. Because I feel like it's not going to be quite as long as it was last time because there's going to be more games that are going to have to be played.
Yeah.
With the way that they have that set up in having the tournament between the bottom 4 teams.
Yeah, what's it? 7 through 12.
Yeah.
Or 7 through, something like that. 6 through 12, something like that. Anyway. Yeah,
because the last 2 seeds need to be decided by a play-in tournament. So I think there's going to be 6 teams in that. 6 to 8 teams, something around that. That's going to force them to have to start at least 1 more week early.
Yeah. And then, like we said before, too, it's going to take the World Cup and it's going to condense it. Mm-hmm. Where if you're ending in, somewhere in October, obviously the finals are in, at BlizzCon usually, first weekend in November, it's always BlizzCon. So you're going to have, your World Cups. It's going to be a little bit more concise and you can kind of keep up with it a little bit better, I think, too. I think for competitive Overwatch overall, I think it's going to work out a lot better. Yeah,
just in general, it's going to spread out the season to be longer itself. But then it's going to give the players a little bit more of a break during the season, so they'll be more apt to put in better performances. It's going to help them build up just more notice and everything about what's going on and just building up more hype. It's going to give them a lot more time to build up hype, and then you can build up this is the time when these top 2 teams are going to play, so keep your eye out for that kind of thing.
It's going to be more of an NFL type scenario than like a Major League Baseball or even hockey or NBA, where the games are there's more of a imperative to win.
Yes.
Every game, where you're not all right, there's 40 games. We can afford to lose here and there. And, that kind of like you do with baseball and hockey and basketball. You're getting football, or I don't know how, soccer works. I'm assuming it's the same, closer to football. Mm-hmm. Where you have less games, everything's impactful. And also your guys are going to be fresher, so the play is going to be better. Because some of the play, in the middle, late of stage 3, was kind of terrible.
It started to get pretty ugly at times.
Because I remember...
had times where they would just roll over each other, and as soon as one person died, they're okay, we're not even going to bother. Just take this point, and then we'll regroup or whatever. And it's just it just makes it less engaging when they're not even able to start a fight.
Yeah. And there were a couple of matches, I think like Philadelphia and Seoul had a match that was absolutely abysmal in the middle of the third stage, where it was just like you could tell they were just tired. They were running it like quick play. It was like, fuck this, let's try this. All right, yeah, sure, let's just go run in here, and then like you said, someone to get picked, and it would be like, well, let's reset. That's not working.
So one of the other changes that's going to kind of help with that too is they have upped the prize money for the stage. So the stage playoffs are going to have a higher prize pool. Overall, just in general, they've upped pretty much all of the prize money.
Which is fantastic.
Pretty considerable. The only one that really didn't go up was the grand prize of $1 million. It's like 1.1 million now. But everything else, like, they're kind of spreading a little bit more out to teams that make the playoffs. So it's kind of giving them a little more incentive to get in.
Yeah.
And then obviously the higher up in the playoffs you were, the more money you're going to get.
Yeah.
So like the end of stage playoff, I think is going to really give them more motivation.
Yeah, I think so.
Put out a lot better product.
Like I said about the schedule, they're kind of going the NFL model with the prize money too. And, you know, all right, the end game is like, all right, it's 1.1 million. You're going, that's not much money this day and age. But, you know, I think the winning teams get, now in the NFL, obviously a totally different story. I think it's somewhere between 350 and 500,000 for winning the Super Bowl. But it really has nothing to do with that. It's the ring and the I won the championship kind of thing.
Right. Exactly.
Which I think they're trying to focus on that here. Where you have some other leagues where it's like, you know, $20 million prize, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, Fortnite, you know, run around, shoot your friend in the back, and you can win $20 million or whatever. I keep slamming on that fucking game. I'm sorry if you guys like it, but...
You do. I can't do it. That game especially, like, the crowd that it draws and everything, I just can't do it.
Mean age of 6 to 13. Anyway, so... we have the schedule. We're not going to dive into the whole schedule, but I mean, there's interesting matches, obviously. And the only thing I'm going to say is the one thing with the schedule. Now, I thought we were going to have less of the double week games, but going through the schedule, they pretty much run 3 double games a stage and 1 solo. From what I saw, like, it seemed like the New York Excelsior in the first stage play every week, or like every day, actually, not every week, but like, you know, twice a week, every week. That's just from my perspective. I guess maybe I misinterpreted maybe what they were talking about when they said, you know, we're going to have, you know, some weeks they're going to run 2, some weeks they're going to have 1, some weeks they're going to run 0.
So it looks like a lot of teams are going to have week 5 off completely.
It seems like a lot of the good teams.
It seems like it's going to be 2. You'll do 2 weeks of double, or no, it looks like 3. So you'll have 3 weeks where you'll play 2 teams a week, 1 week where you'll play 1, and then another week where you'll play none.
Which is fine. It's just, I guess, it was a little confusing the way they described it.
Yes.
But, so now let's dive into the other part that Nanzer was kind of hinting at last week on his interview, in between his or whatever the hell he was doing. Anyway, in between those, he was hinting at the road games, but
yes.
On Wednesday they released them, which thank God they released all this stuff. It kind of makes me happy because it gets you more excited. So 3 cities are getting I guess a road challenge kind of weekend kind of thing. We got Dallas, Atlanta, and the longest road trip ever, Los Angeles. They're going to drive from fucking...
That could be, you know, it might be like 5 miles away.
But it's 5 hours.
2 hours. Yeah, it's like a 2-hour travel time.
It's Los Angeles. It's going to take them 6 hours to get from fucking Burbank over to the...
Exactly.
I've driven in Los Angeles, and it's not fun. So, yeah, I can understand that being a big road trip. I thought they would go international a little bit, though. I thought maybe we'd hit China with 4 teams, you know, just like do a little China round robin or something like that. Maybe Seoul, like you were saying, before we got on.
Maybe even like London, something like that.
Yeah.
There was some talk on the Reddit, the competitive Overwatch Reddit, where that was something that they were planning. This is just rumors and hearsay, but there were some plans, but then the company that the Spitfire is working with make their esports arena was kind of behind on their schedule, so they couldn't get it locked up and solidified, so they just kind of had to nix it.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm sure the same thing has happened in other places, but you can run one in Seoul, for sure.
Yeah,
believe
absolutely.
me, they're esports ready over there.
Oh yeah, but I do like the way that they're doing it. It seems like they're going to take a few teams with them, and those teams that they do it, going to be 8 teams total,
and they're going to run all their matches. Play each other.
Yeah, they're going to run all of them on Saturday and Sunday.
Which will be fun. I mean, that would be fantastic. I mean, we were talking about if it was closer to here, which it's not. I mean...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for like a Toronto or...
Philly,
something like that.
I was hoping for an East Coast one just because we have a bunch of teams out there too, and
right.
I think it's kind of weird that they didn't do New York or, Philly or Washington. All right, Atlanta, I kind of get, but if you hit Washington, you could pull crowds from everywhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, Washington's pretty much in the middle. And trust me, before you guys say anything, I used to drive from Connecticut down to Charleston, South Carolina. It's in the middle. It's 6 hours in between both of those, and Atlanta's like 4. What I'm saying is it's south and the Northeast. You can kind of hit Washington as a middle point. There's
so many ways to travel, but it's not just freeways, trains. Yeah. It's significantly easier to travel to the city, so they definitely would have gotten a lot of teams from that to go.
I mean, that being
said, it would have been, you could have had, basically, if you were going to pull the 8 teams, I mean, you've got 4 teams right there that you could have pulled in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You had, you have New York, Washington, Philly. You can even pull Florida, Toronto, and Atlanta into that. Maybe not Florida. I mean, they're Miami or whatever. So you pull Atlanta.
But, I mean, still like East Coast type of thing. And
yeah.
Then maybe while you're doing that, you have the other teams. Maybe you do like a double travel weekend where the other teams all travel to, because that would leave mostly American teams here. You put all the other teams in either China or London.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that at some point. I don't
know. I feel like they're holding back. I get the feeling that the finals, because they did it in New York last year, I get the feeling that that's when they're going to do the international.
Which, I could see that. I mean, but as long as
they do the championship in China or
Seoul
Korea, something like that, I could definitely see
the way it seems like, though. For the most part, the way they're kind of working at U.S. based. Yeah. Which I think some of you guys are going to get where I'm going on this. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to build an esports base, a bigger one in the United States. They know Korea and China are in.
Right.
They know most of Europe's in too. But
they gotta pull in the U.S. and just North America in general, because that's probably what's the most lacking as far as like established esports, because once they get a foothold in here, then they can really expand. This is where a lot of the money is coming from in general anyway. So, of course, they want to establish it more here.
And you got to look at other sports, too, that have done this. I mean, there were niche sports like NASCAR and like poker, even, if you want to go into that direction. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I grew up in it. I'm a hillbilly, guys. It's true. I grew up with, my uncles racing, watching guys on once or twice a year on Saturday, to the point where ESPN was like, yeah, we want that. There's something going on there.
Right.
And and then I was going around America and building it up in cities where you don't expect it. You don't expect to see NASCAR in Chicago. You don't expect to see NASCAR in Las Vegas or Fontana, California, or Phoenix, but they moved races there, much like the Overwatch League is, you know, going into places in America where, you know, you have the Megyn Kellys of the world, which is 90% of America with esports. Oh, yeah. Raucous. I like your name. I'm going to grab your fat ass.
God, that was seriously one of the most awkward things ever.
Fucking cringeworthy. I wonder if that was part of why she got fired.
Probably.
Oh, that and the blackface thing, but, you know, anyway. That's a whole nother fucking story. So, but you see where I'm going with that?
Pretty cool things with that. Yeah, for sure.
Well, not Megyn Kelly.
But yeah, absolutely. As far as establishing a foothold and everything in the U.S., I'm fully with you on that. I feel like that's one of their biggest goals with it, and then they can kind of expand from there.
Yeah, into the Midwest, which is you hit the coast first, though. Anytime you start a league, I get it.
Exactly.
In Texas and the South, I don't understand why they miss this part, but that's our problem with it more than the rest of the esports world.
Exactly.
You know, we want to talk about that. So last episode, we laid out a little bit where we're going. So we got the schedule, we got all the teams, we got all the rosters. Coming up, we're going to do, I would say, what do you think? 3 to 5 episodes where we're going to
I'd say we'll probably do at least 4 episodes, probably 5 episodes or 5 teams per episode, or we'll do 4 teams and 5 episodes. We'll see how it works out.
Usually we rant a little bit, so it'll probably be 5 episodes, guys. I mean, if you've been around, you know what happens.
Exactly. So we want to go through each and every team, go through their roster, and just kind of do a quick little segment on how we feel that team is going to do in the new season.
Yes, and the most
semi-ranking them, but also, like, we might even do a whole separate show where after we kind of go through each team, like, we'll probably go through division, and then after that, we will kind of rank them after we've kind of gone over, like, which team we think is going to be good. We're going to go over their roster, how we feel like they're going to play together and all that. And then after we do all that, we'll do another thing where we rank all the teams where we think they're going to fall by the end of the season.
Our power
predictions.
Rankings.
Yes, our power
so to speak.
So that is something else that we want to keep doing. And that's going to set us up into the next, or to the start of the season. Yeah. We're going to basically be doing our power rankings we're going to go through, we're going to talk about the big events that happen, but we're also going to every week we're going to update our power rankings, which teams move up, which teams move down, which teams stay the same, that type of thing, similar to how you would have with, like, the NFL or really NBA any other major sport in the U.S.
And I'm sure they do that with international with soccer. You're going to have, you know, it's not necessarily the standings ranking, but where you think teams are. Because sometimes when you just look at the standings, you miss how good a team is or how much of a fraud a team is.
Yes.
Or how much of a team is getting screwed because of their schedule or whatever, and they're actually better than they think they are. So we're going to do that kind of ranking system, and we want your guys' input on this too. Right. We want to hear what you guys think. We want the debate to go. You know, started. You know, get things flying. We want to. You know, if we say, New York is number 2, we want you guys to debate us on why you agree with us, or, you don't agree with us, or whatever, on that kind of thing. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. We want to get you guys in.
Yes, absolutely. And we want to create a discussion and just and have fun with it. Like,
yeah, that's the whole point of this. I mean, you guys know that we're trying to have fun with it.
Right. I mean, we're trying to talk about the league and how we think the teams are doing, and that's kind of the whole point of it. Just debating and going back and forth, because I'm sure there'll be disagreements where we think, or where I'll think one team needs to be ahead of another team, and we'll talk about that, and then you guys can weigh in on the same thing too.
I mean, we're not about the outside drama stuff. We're about the nuts and bolts of, like, being a fan of the league. I could care less what the streamers do and all that stuff. That's other guys' That's other guys' thing. They can talk about that stuff, and it's great. It's fine. I watch it actually, and
Same.
I just don't want to talk about it.
Right. I
want to talk about the league. I want to talk about, hey, did you see Chengdu last week? They looked really good, and it surprised me. And wow, did New York look bad? Or going into that kind of thing. Absolutely. I can't wait for it to start. I'm hyped.
I'm so excited.
On that
the thing we didn't talk about yet.
Yeah. On that note too, David Benchmob. I have a link down. We put the link down below. You guys check out Benchmob. Dude, Dave that does it is fantastic. I mean, he's always spot on, but he said that per league sources, we're going to get some preseason matches January 28th to February 4th-ish. So, we're going to get, kind of like last year, but a little bit more expanded.
Yeah.
Which is good, because last year was kind of like a little taste. I mean, everybody thought Shanghai was going to be bad, but they didn't think they were going to be as epically bad, because they kind of gave... didn't they give Seoul a little bit of fight?
Yeah.
They looked pretty good.
Yeah,
Shanghai, yeah. Yeah, but so we're going to get a weekend full of matches, which is great. And it's going to be, I mean, it's a long wait because they retool the system and the schedule and all that. Because we all honestly, we all thought right now we would be talking about 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, right?
Right.
Because it started last year January 12th. So we thought, we'd be about a month out at this point or less.
But I feel like it's
going to work for the better.
It's for the better for sure.
I mean, some teams took forever to reveal anything.
Now we're getting info crazy, because now it is getting to that point where we're getting close. We will be starting to do a countdown very soon. Yeah,
what are we at? 60 days, roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
I mean, we could do what other channels do, and we could just start going into skin reviews. But there's only one skin to review, right?
Yeah, there's only one good skin that's worth having with the thing.
The Junkrat Krampus. That's the only one you guys need to buy.
Probably one of the best skins that they've done overall.
And the only other thing I can think of is apparently Blizzard thinks that the snipers are homeless and they have to fucking put coats on them every year, because that's all we get is a new coat for a sniper. This year, Widowmaker got a fucking ski jacket. Last year, Hanzo got some kind of fucking hobo jacket. Next year, Ash is going to get some kind of fringed leather fucking 1980s thing, because she's a cowgirl, whatever. I don't know. They could have gone so many different places with those fucking skins, and they didn't.
They really could have, and they went too safe.
Yeah.
In general,
guys,
just weird.
We need your backing on a couple of skins. Flood the internet, unless you're a Mercy main, just continue to do your fucking pretend movement like you actually are trying to do something socially conscious or whatever. How about this? Soldier 76 John McClane skin from Die Hard. And we get Reaper as Hans. Guys just need a 76 John McClane. I don't know. Come up with some hashtag. You guys are good at that. I'm not. I'm terrible. And we need Junkrat and Roadhog to be Heat Miser and Cold Miser. And then we're pretty much close to done with the holiday skins.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our friends did say Ash and Bob could be the dentist from Rudolph and the Bumble.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you can work around things because they've done it. Because, I mean, we have a 76 Thriller skin. That's enough on skins. I was kind of disappointed and slightly annoyed. I know some people were like, oh, these are great. And you got a rat and a giant ball. You can't do anything with that.
Right. No kidding.
You couldn't have them in a snow globe or a fucking Christmas ball or something. You got to give a coat to another sniper. And what the fuck is with the furry shit? Is it it's like Weeb Christmas at fucking Blizzard, minus Krampus, and the MS Paint Bastion. Anyway, enough on skins. I think we've totally gone off the rails on this episode. So and also, guys, I know I've been teasing stuff, but we're gonna try and work something out. We're working on our actual real life schedules for the season, and things could work out where we could be doing a semi talk show. Don't mark it down yet, but we're looking at some kind of Monday morning, Monday early afternoon, kind of post weekend little stream where we're getting you guys involved, talk Overwatch League, kind of just all together. And, what we liked and what we didn't like. And obviously we're going to do our same stuff, but we figured it'd be kind of cool to do something like that. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, me and Kel want to do this with you guys, and we want your opinion.
Kind of a combination of what we were talking about earlier, but also like a little bit of an expansion on some of the things we do, but kind of a reel back of not trying to cover every single team, just because it's going to be really tough to cover 20 teams. That's why we like the power rankings, so we can touch on every team, but we don't have to spend a lot of time talking about it, and then we can talk about the big topics for the league as well.
And then in this kind of venue, we can talk about, hey, did you see that play? Did you see this play? What'd you think about, Philly and New York? Or what'd you think about this match? Like a little bit more in detail for a couple hours and get you guys involved. Get you guys in there. Kind of sports radio-y. If you guys are into that,
That's kind of been our whole thing. What we try to do more than anything is like, we just want to, because I personally listen to probably way too much sports radio, but
so do I.
I don't mind it, or it's something I enjoy, and I feel like there's a market, there's room for it with this league, for sure.
And you guys are the key.
Absolutely.
You guys are the key. You guys come in, talk to us. And it's not just ask us questions like we're some kind of high and mighty fucking, analyst person. Let's talk about this.
Right. Let's just have some discussion about something we enjoy.
And we want to kind of do something sort of, like in a live environment. So we think something like this could work. We're working on it. It's not set in stone, but it's it's a really strong possibility we're going to do something like this. So we want to hear what you guys think, and we want to get you guys more involved, and, bring your friends in, and we can all just sit around on Monday morning or Monday early afternoon and just bullshit about Overwatch League. So that's going to do it for this one. We just want to hit you guys with some stuff about the schedule, what we thought, give you guys our thoughts on, what we're doing, what's going to happen in the future. And, for all of you guys that are new, thank you very much for joining us. All of you guys that have been around, thanks a lot for joining us as well. If you're new, drop a like, drop a subscribe. We are going to hit you guys probably later on in the week if anything else hits. There could be some other stuff that's going on later on in the week or early next week, but we'll talk about that when it happens. All right, guys, we will talk to you later.
Talk to you guys later.